On his Facebook page, Dr. Rowley said last Saturday, whilst in Guyana, the chairman of CARICOM informed him that the Office of the Secretary General of the UN wanted to contact him and a couple other CARICOM heads to advise of a substantial grant received from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Dr. Rowley said his suspicion further heightened when he wasn't allowed to communicate to the Secretary General via call but only WhatsApp. Prime Minister Rowley said he was asked to make a substantial deposit in a Chinese bank as a prerequisite to receiving the grant, and that was when he was convinced that it was a brazen scam. And as such, will be referring the matter to the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service and all other relevant authorities. The Miscellaneous Provisions Local Government Reform Bill 2020 was read for a third time on Monday and passed in the House of Representatives. There were 20 votes for, 0 against, and 12 abstentions. Before the bill was passed, Leader of Government Business, Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Camille Robinson-Raggie, said there were numerous opportunities for consultations on the matter of local government reform.
The report itself was very, very clear in outlining all the opportunities that were allowed and that presented themselves to the members of the Joint Select Committee. So, Madam Speaker, without a shadow of a doubt, I take this opportunity to debunk that claim that there was not sufficient consultation.
The bill now moves to the upper house for debate. In other news, police are probing the murder of a 39-year-old Mover man. TTT News understands that the incident occurred on Monday morning. Police said Lyndon Latouche was walking along Flamingo Street at around 11 a.m. when he was approached by a man wearing a black hoodie who shot him several times before running away. Residents heard the gunshots and saw Latouche bleeding. Investigators said Latouche was shot 15 times. And switching to sports, Northwest dominated the Republic Bank NAAA TT Relay Festival at the Hazley Crawford Stadium Monday evening as the event's new zonal format got tested. The girls under 15 and the young ladies of South Central upset the Northwest Tide as they won in 1 minute 49.15 seconds. The Tobago Zone took second in 1 minute 39.99 seconds, and the boys from South Central completed the top 3 spots in 1 minute 42.98 seconds. In the girls under 17, Northwest once again with the dominant force, winning in 1 minute 40.11 seconds. South Central took second in 1 minute 43.85 seconds, and Tobago Zone third in 1 minute 52.41 seconds. Completing the day's action, the men from Northwest Zone came away victors in 1 minute 27.20 seconds. And that was your TTT News. I am Roxanne Suraj. Good morning, everyone.
Trinidad and Tobago, get ready for the ultimate musical experience. Saturday, June 4th, the Port of Spain International Waterfront, Suite 100.1 FM brings to you Jazz, a fusion of our music and culture. Introducing performances by Pedro Lazama, Joshua Regrello, Nyla Blackman, and Soca. Sharada Patissar with a tribute to her father, Mangel Patissar. Introducing Adrian Kong, called Beaver Henderson, featuring Kay Allen and Mauricia Kagan. Freetown Collective, Patrice Roberts and the A-Team Band. The Boss, King David Rudder. And the Queen of Bacchanal, Destra. Limited advance tickets now, $500. Premium drinks inclusive. Dress code you must wear white. To purchase tickets, log on to www.islandetickets.com. No credit card, no worries. Stay tuned to Sweet 100 and follow us on Facebook and Instagram for ticket outlet details. Jazz, a fusion of our music and culture, brought to you by the #1 adult contemporary station in Trinidad and Tobago. Sweet 100, powered by Digicel. Digicel, better together. Unicot, signed, sealed, delivered. And the TDT Limited Media Network. This is Jazz.
The best for your baby is at thebesttoys.com. From the best strollers, car seats, baby carriers, high chairs, booster seats, rockers, jumpers and bouncers, walkers, baby blankets, feeding accessories, bathtubs, gyms and playmats, playpens, cribs, baby swings, changing tables, diaper bags, clothing and accessories, and the widest range of educational toys. We carry Infantino, Dr. Brown, Avent, Graco, Chico, Fisher-Price, VTech, Leapfrog, Disney Baby, Delta Children, Medela, and Twist Shape. Visit us in-store at Forces Flagship McLean. Shop online now at thebesttoys.com. No credit card required. Free delivery throughout Trinidad and Tobago on orders over $300. Cash or links on delivery. Order via call or WhatsApp at 332-BABY. And remember, we have the best toys at the best prices.
Going beyond the headlines. Asking the questions you want answered. Exploring government policies and how they impact you. We are delving deeper.
Join TTT this Thursday at 6 p.m. for Delving Deeper with Minister the Honorable Marvin Gonzalez.
We don't care if you're drunk, sip some of that. That's wrong in Trinidad, Jamaica.
7 minutes after 6 o'clock, welcome inside the Tuesday episode of the Now Morning Show. My name is Rockus. It's Tuesday on the Rocks, as we like to say here. And this morning, it's just me and Kimberly. Kimberly, how are you doing this morning?
I'm good. How are you, Rockus? Good morning.
So
good morning,
far, so good. I'm watching some bacchanal happening here. Any news?
All right, well, start it.
Me? I feel like I should let you start.
Start the
I
thing,
feel like
man.
I want to let you start it. Only because you were the one yesterday talking about how, in the press conference on Sunday, the Prime Minister would have mentioned getting funding from Bill and Melinda Gates.
Yeah.
And your ears peaked at it, but you didn't ask any questions. You say, we'll leave it and see what happened. And look at what's happening.
So what have you heard thus far?
Well, just what Roxanne said in the news just now. I just see a piece of bacchanal with the Prime Minister realizing that it's been some version of a scam.
Yeah.
Now, for the last, I don't even know how long, like decade or more, definitely, since the internet has been invented, I think, since we've had email, we've had these random scams that come through where people offer bags and bags of money. And you always see jokes about it, you always see memes about it, people talking about it. But did you ever think it would happen where a prime minister or political leader or a head of CARICOM would have been fooled into thinking that there's a possibility that this might be real?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Something like that.
It speaks to the fact that it could happen to anybody. I mean, that apparently the whole thing is that apparently the chairman of CARICOM would have reached out to several CARICOM heads and said, listen, I'm getting a grant from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And I believe, because apparently...
Through the UN, right?
Through the Secretary General, because I believe that Prime Minister Dr. Rowley, on his page yesterday, he said that the CARICOM chairman reached out to him and said that the Secretary General of the UN wanted to get in contact with him. Dr. Rowley said he called, and then when he was trying to get on to him yesterday just to confirm the information, he was only able to contact him via WhatsApp, not phone call. And so
Red
that
flag number one.
That would have alerted him that something was wrong. And then after a pile of communication again, he realized that the person purported to be the Secretary General of the UN is asking him to send a large processing fee and deposit same into a Chinese bank account. Red flag number 2. And then he reached out.
Red flag.
Listen, he reached out to the chairman of CARICOM asking, well, what's going on? What's going on with that? And the chairman is also showing him a bunch of WhatsApp messages between him and the purported Secretary General of the UN with the same information. And that's how he realized this is a scam. And so we need to not take this serious. But
so you're telling me that the head of CARICOM didn't realize it was a scam?
So
he
what
just
he was
out here taking all these WhatsApp messages and sending it to people?
No, but it didn't seem strange because the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has donated money already. You
Through
understand?
a Chinese bank account?
Well, remember, the Chinese bank account wasn't the information first. The information was given all the money, right?
But when they do that, wouldn't they contact the countries directly? You think they would go through that CARICOM approach?
So we don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah,
and that's where it gets very interesting for me because, I mean, I'm grateful that we didn't give any money before we realized it's a scam, that we realized it in good time.
Yeah.
But oh gosh.
So the matter has been referred to the TTPS, and we're going to see what actually comes out of it. I mean,
we might need Interpol for this one, yes?
I think so, because it speaks to how easy these hackers are. They're getting real sophisticated with these things.
But the technology is improving, so why not improve your scamming too?
Yeah, the match, they keep up.
The scammer them there. But on a lighter note, not a lighter note, but on more good news, I want to say that, we're happy to have the pediatric vaccines here, courtesy Spain, the Kingdom of Spain. They would have donated, I think it's 43,200 vaccines.
Of
the Pfizer children's pediatric vaccine.
Yeah.
So we look forward. So this morning we're going to be chatting with both the Minister of Health and the ambassador to Spain, from Spain.
Ambassador from Spain,
From Spain to Trinidad and Tobago. We're going to be chatting with those two gentlemen this morning to be able to find out a little bit more information about, how we're going to roll out these vaccines, as well as why did we get it in the first place?
Exactly.
How come us? How are we so lucky?
And that's the thing, Ruckus. We were the first in the Caribbean to receive this type of vaccine, so that's very, very interesting. And I believe I saw a press release from the ministry yesterday that says that they're going to actually start distribution on Wednesday.
On Wednesday, the 25th.
So they're asking, parents to bring in stuff like a valid form of ID, the birth certificates of the child, and of course, proof of relation to the child. And of course, they must accompany their children to the destination site. And I believe that when we speak to Minister Dialsingh today, we'll find out what those sites are. Because remember, in addition to this vaccine, we still have all the other vaccination programs running subsequently as well. So we have to see exactly how we're going to be able to do that. But I'm looking forward to that convo. Also, Ruckus, and some more good news. Remember, we signed that MOU with Royal Caribbean International yesterday.
Well, I saw that. Hopefully, we can get the Minister of Tourism to come and chat with us about the details of it. But it's very interesting to me because we now have the opportunity. I believe it's over 2,000 jobs said to be made available for locals on the cruise ship, and that's going to be. I mean, I think that's an amazing experience for starters. I worked on a cruise ship a couple of times, and it is a very, very. It's a life-changing experience because you get to see the world from a different perspective. Even if it's just the Caribbean that you get to see, you see it from a different perspective.
Right.
You get a different appreciation for your culture and for people's appreciation of your culture. You also get to see how a well-oiled machine works. Like that for me was one of the biggest eye-openers. Like when we had the Summit of the Americas that happened here, they had brought down 2 ships to be hotels right by the port by Hyatt.
Yes, I remember that.
And they had a youth summit happening as well. So back then I was working on a young urban station, and we went to DJ on it, and the guys from the board, they were like, hey, we love what you all are doing, and we want you to come and do the cruise that we're leaving for after with us. So we went on that, and it was an amazing experience. To say the least, I mean, the food is... Yeah. It's not the kind of experience that I think everybody can experience.
Right.
But if you do get the opportunity, especially if you get a chance to work on it, it is a great way. Let me tell you this. Let me be real.
How much money you save? How much money you save?
You can save so much money. Like you can save almost 100% of the money that you're making on that cruise. You can save it because you have free room on board.
Right.
You have free food. The only thing you have to buy is if when you stop in them island and then you want to buy something.
Buy a little shopping, yeah.
Or if you want to buy alcohol. Other than that, everything was free.
Yeah.
And you getting paid to be there. The only downside is that you don't get to leave work.
Of course. And I mean, I could imagine cabin fever sets in a little while after.
It can.
Yeah.
But some of those boats are so huge that you forget that you're on a boat. until you go out on deck and you realize, hey, wait a minute. But I'm looking forward to see the opportunities because there's theatre opportunities, there's technician opportunities.
And he was also talking about that. He said you're going to get opportunities in housekeeping, entertainment, on deck, even in the ship's engine room.
Of course.
So if you have that skill and you don't know where to apply it, then here's the opportunity to do it now. What was interesting as well, Ruckus, quickly, was that he was saying that there's no application fees, and for some of the positions, you may not even need CXC passes to apply. So basically, if you're fit and you're ready and you think you have a great opportunity to save, I think that was one of the real incentives for me. I mean, take a look at it and see.
I would suggest anybody between the ages of like 18 and 30, if you have no children, no chick, no child, no parrot on a stick.
Not even a stick for the parrot.
Go and do it, experience it, enjoy it, and make the most of it, especially if you get the chance to. But before we go, I have a couple more things. This morning we'll be chatting a little bit about monkeypox.
Yes.
Monkeypox is a new craze that's taking over the world, and I saw an episode in as close as Miami recently. Yesterday I saw it in Miami.
It is in the U.S., yes.
Yeah, I saw it in Broward, which is just one flight away, and we'll have to fly to Miami.
We like to jump to Miami.
So, this morning we're going to give you some factual details about monkeypox, what it means, how you get it, how it's transmitted, and how you can prevent yourself from getting it as well. Also, on a completely lighter note. We're going to give away this morning one ticket to go to Sweet 100's Jazz Fusion event on the waterfront next weekend. June the 4th, it's happening. And, of course, we have one ticket to give away this morning. So we'll take your calls a little bit later. We have that and so much in store. Like I mentioned before, we'll be chatting about those vaccines.
Yeah, those
So that's coming up next. I encourage you guys to stay tuned. It's the Now Morning Show. Kimberly D'Souza, is this one read today?
Trinidad and Tobago, he remembered his colors.
My name is Ruckus. We'll be here with you till 8 a.m. Stay tuned. Not me and you. 15
minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock, and it's the Team Up Morning Show.
Going beyond the headlines. Asking the questions you want answered. Exploring government policies and how they impact you. We are delving deeper.
Join TTT this Thursday at 6 p.m. for Delving Deeper with Minister the Honorable Marvin Gonzalez.
TTT News, first at 6:30 p.m. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Pfizer pediatric vaccines are here. This morning we shine a spotlight on the Minister of Health as he chats with Kimberly about it inside your spotlight on Now.
On Monday, Trinidad and Tobago received a donation of 43,200 Pfizer COVID-19 pediatric vaccines to inoculate children of the 5 to 11 age group from Spain. And according to the Embassy of Spain, our country is the first in the Caribbean to receive this type of vaccine. With me to speak more about this is the Minister of Health, Minister Terence Dialsingh. Mr. Dialsingh, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us on Now.
Good morning, Kimberly, and good morning to all your listeners and viewers, wherever they are. Good morning.
Now, Minister, after a long journey from Spain, the pediatric vaccines are finally here. Has the ministry established a rollout plan? I think I saw a press release yesterday stating it's going to begin on Wednesday.
Yes, so the rollout plan starts tomorrow. We normally start 2 working days after receipt of vaccines, so that is tomorrow. We have expanded the number of sites. We are going to be doing these in about 30 sites. So a press release did go out yesterday. There will be an ad in the papers tomorrow. So it will be available at some of the health centers and the usual mass vac sites that people have grown accustomed to over the past year and change. So it's going to be widely available.
And what do parents need to bring with them at the vaccination sites?
Yeah. So the child, 5 to 11, must be accompanied by an adult or guardian. Bring your birth certificate, and that's about it. Not your birth certificate for the child, right? Because you must give parental consent. It's the same formula we use for the 12 to 18s.
Nice. So you said that the mass vax sites and some of the health centers, but of course you're going to be putting that release in the papers today.
Yes, it is. It is there, and it's going to be in the papers again tomorrow. And I will go it through tomorrow in detail at our usual 11 a.m. press conference.
All right. Now, Minister, what sort of vaccination strategy will the ministry be using? Because, of course, we have seen a dip in numbers. So how will we encourage parents to bring their children out for this type of vaccine?
Well, we have given parents all the information that they need to get their to get their kids vaccinated. We do have cases in schools. It's not a cause for alarm at this point in time, but we can mitigate further cases in schools if we start to get more of about 12 to 18s vaccinated, and also now our 5 to 11. Because the worst thing you want to do, Kimberly, is to keep children away from school. It is not good for their long-term social development, educational development, mental development, and their overall health. We must keep our schools open, and vaccinations is one of the ways to do it.
Now, Minister, as you mentioned, this school, with the introduction of the pediatric vaccines and knowing that we also have the vaccines for that over 12 age group, do we anticipate a decrease in numbers at schools?
A decrease in numbers?
In COVID cases?
Well, we would like to think so. But remember, even with the 12 to 18, we only have about 60% of them vaccinated because too many parents have bought into the anti-vaxxers message. And it's a global problem, but we just ask parents to believe in the science, trust in the science. The anti-vaxxers do not have your best interest at heart, do not have the best interest of the country and your children at heart. We do.
Now, Minister, for the anti-vaxxers or those adults who may still be on the fence, do you think the introduction of these vaccines may encourage them to go out themselves and get vaccinated?
We hope so. We hope so. We are not giving up on vaccinating as many people as possible. We hope that with time, as all the data comes in to show that vaccines are safe, vaccines are effective. Look, one of the reasons we can open up the economy now is because 50% of the population is vaccinated. The vaccination has helped us get back to an almost state of normalcy. And this is around the world where vaccination rates are helping us get back to normalcy. So we just ask people to pay attention to the facts and not to believe the conspiracy theories of the anti-vaxxers. They are not working in your best interest.
Minister, with the rollout that's scheduled to begin tomorrow, do you anticipate large numbers coming at the sites?
Well, let me put it to you this way. When we rolled out the 12 to 18 at the height of the Gamma variant, where there was a lot of concern, there was a lot of demand for vaccinations, the first couple of days we did 3,005 per day. We don't anticipate those numbers because now the Omicron variant is at hand, which is a much milder variant. The economy is fairly open. When we did the 12 to 18s, things were not. We were in a state of emergency, so circumstances have changed. But we welcome everyone. That is why we have expanded it to the number of sites so that parents and these little kids don't have to wait and get anxious. Because that is the main thing we noticed with the 12 to 18. Not that the vaccines were causing mass side effects. There were 1 or 2 cases of inflammation, but most of the cases were due to anxiety. And we want to decrease that anxiety level by opening up and having many more sites so kids don't have to wait long. The longer you have them waiting, the more anxious they and their parents become.
Now, Minister, as you mentioned, the opening of sites, we also have all the other vaccinations happening, right? We have the adults, we have the 12 to 18. We've also introduced the booster shots and the second booster shot for that immunocompromised group. I mean, with all these vaccinations happening, do we have enough healthcare workers on the ground to manage the numbers that we'll be seeing?
Yeah, so the numbers that we are seeing now are pretty small as compared to the height of the vaccination program. At the height of the vaccination program, our best day was 16,000 shots a day. Now we are down to under 1,000. So to answer your question, we have more than enough staff to do what we are attempting to do.
Minister, one of the things that the Embassy of Spain would have announced is that we are the first in the Caribbean to receive this type of vaccine. I mean, what was the criteria for us being the first with this one?
Well, I can't say what was the criteria. What I know is that we worked tremendously hard. Kimberly, the public will never know how hard it is to acquire vaccines behind the scenes. And I never boast, I never spoke about the fact that we are going to be the first CARICOM country to roll out this vaccine, because you hear a lot of ill-advised talk, especially from the opposition, when the vaccines come in. It is not as simple as that. Imagine a year and a half into a vaccination program, these vaccines are still not available commercially. They are only available to governments. And the population will never know how difficult it is. We have to work behind the scenes to acquire these vaccines. And I am proud that we at the Ministry of Health work very, very hard with the folks at the Embassy of Spain. And I must thank His Excellency, the Ambassador, his technocrats there who worked with us, and also the people of the Kingdom of Spain for making this donation and working so hard. It's a lot of work, Kimberly. It's a lot of work to bring vaccines into this country at a governmental level. You would not believe the amount of paperwork, the amount of agreements, the back and forth to bring in any vaccine for people into this country. It is a logistical challenge that we have never done in the history of this country. And I'm very proud that today, as the ambassador said, we are going to be the first country to start to administer this vaccine to the 5 to 11 age group.
Now, Minister, as we look forward to the new school term, I believe it is still in place that to enter school, at least at the age of 5, you need to get the MMR vaccines, right? The measles, mumps, rubella, as part of the schedule to enter school. Do you know if this vaccine will also be included on that schedule as we look forward to the new school term?
No, as the Honorable Prime Minister has stated publicly, the COVID vaccine will not be included in the schedule. So this is optional, it is voluntary, it is not mandatory.
Nice. Now, Minister, I'm going to shift gears a bit to monkeypox, which, of course, is how we have a lot of cases in the U.S., in the U.K. I heard you mention Minister, why are you laughing?
No, it's one disaster after another, isn't it?
It is. It really is. But I have to get your thoughts because it's in the U.S. I think this morning I heard it was in Miami, right? And of course, it is becoming a concern to us in the region. I mean, what is the ministry doing as a sort of plan to mitigate that entering our shores?
Yeah. So as I say, it's one disaster after another. Yeah. So monkeypox is a viral infection that is spread mainly by very close prolonged physical contact between people, or surfaces that an infected person contaminated, like bed sheeting, pillows, clothes, and then you go on that bed sheet, you wear those same clothes, and so on. So it is a difficult vaccine to transmit. What is absolutely scientifically curious about this outbreak is the first time you are seeing multiple cases in multiple countries that the individuals don't have a travel history to Africa, to Central Africa and West Africa, where the monkeypox is more or less endemic. So that is baffling scientists. It's the first time you are seeing these small clusters in so many countries at the same time. Even though the numbers are small, it is a cause of concern. It is a cause of epidemiological investigation right now to find out if this is due to a change in the behavior of the virus or a change in the behavior of people or a combination of both. So what we are doing in Trinidad and Tobago, one, we have stepped up our airport surveillance. Two, we are working with CARPHA to develop testing capacity for the CARICOM region. Three, we are working with the University of the West Indies to develop genomic sequencing capacity, because like COVID, you want to know the exact nature of the virus you are dealing with. We have alerted all RHAs about their case management, how to detect a suspect case, how to isolate, how to treat. So we are doing all of those things as mitigation strategies. In addition, as I started to indicate in the House yesterday, we are also in the market for a vaccine called JYNNEOS, which in 2013, I believe, was approved for use in the United States. So it's a vaccination that is effective against both smallpox and monkeypox. If we get the vaccines, the current strategy for vaccination is not a wholesale COVID-19-like vaccination program for the entire population. It is more or less targeted to close contacts of any suspect case or positive case. So if, for example, I come down with it, you don't vaccinate the whole country. You vaccinate my immediate family, my immediate friends who I have contact with. So small concentric circles of vaccinations radiating out. You vaccinate the initial contacts. We are also in the market for antiviral drug, and let me just go into my phone to get the correct name. The antiviral drug is called Tecovirimat. We are in the market for that drug, just like how we have antivirals for the cold and for H1N1. So we are exploring all avenues locally and internationally for mitigation strategies, for vaccination strategies, and for antiviral treatment strategies. But the first mitigation strategy is an informed, educated, and updated public. And that's why we sent out the press release on Friday, giving them the hyperlink to PAHO's website, where people can see the countries affected, so that if you know you have been in contact with somebody who recently traveled to any one of those countries, you need to be aware and take the necessary precautions.
Good. Now, Minister, going back to vaccines, because we only have a few more minutes left, the booster program, can you just give us some details on that? Is it that the first booster is continuing alongside the second booster as well?
Yeah. So the entire vaccination program is afoot, entire. First dose, second dose, first booster, second booster, 12 to 18, and now from tomorrow, 5 to 11. So the whole gamut of the vaccination range is afoot, and we ask the population to take advantage of it. The more people we get vaccinated, the more normalcy we can have in Trinidad and Tobago. Economic normalcy, social normalcy is good for your mental health, is good for your physical health, as people get back out to play, to work, and engage in their social lives.
And Minister, of course, going back to the pediatric vaccines, there may be some parents who, for example, may not have all the documents. So if they don't have the children's birth certificate, for example, can they still come down to get them vaccinated?
We would prefer that because we need proof of age, but I will leave that up to discretion of the individual sites. I mean, you can look at a child and know that they're 5 or 6, but we don't want to be vaccinated children under 5, because you may have a 4-year-old who looks like 5, and that could lead to a whole suite of problems. So we ask you to get your birth certificate. Everybody should have a birth certificate, especially a school-age child. You need it to get into school. So you need the proper documentation because there are legal consequences.
And Minister, finally, for now, you're encouraging parents to come to the vaccination sites with their children. But will the ministry ever develop a plan to go in schools to begin vaccinated children as well?
For the time being, we want to stick to the mass vac sites. We did have a school outreach program about 2 months ago. It was an abject failure because the numbers were simply too small. Parents did not bring them out in any numbers to make it worthwhile for us. So let's stick to the 30. We have made it as easy as possible. There's a site as close as possible to all major towns, villages. Your health centers are easily accessible, and the list is being published as we speak.
And Minister, for those wanting more information on where they can go to take their children to get vaccinated, any info on that?
Yeah, so we are going to be publishing that today. It will be on the Ministry of Health's website, so take advantage of that. Press release did go out last night, listing all 30-something sites. There will be an ad in the papers tomorrow. So there is a lot of source information and resources that people can go, but you can look at the Ministry of Health's website.
Minister Dayal Singh, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us on Now.
Thank you. Good day all. Have a wonderful day.
You too. And that was the Minister of Health, Terrence Dayal Singh, just giving us some updates on the COVID-19 Pfizer pediatric vaccines, that donation that we got from Spain, where you can go to get your children vaccinated. You're on the Now Morning Show. We're going to take a break and be right back. Stay with us.
The best birthday gifts are at dbesttoys.com. Shop for the best brands you love at the best prices. Like VTech, Leapfrog, Fisher-Price, Play-Doh, Hot Wheels, Barbie, Cocomelon, LOL, Baby Alive, Crayola, Lego, Nerf, and remote control vehicles, kids learning desks, and educational toys. Ride-ons, bikes, drones, science toys, and board games and puzzles, and a wide range of baby items. We also have the best devices for school, like laptops, the Amazon Fire 7 tablet, the Amazon Fire 8, 10, and Kids Edition tab, as well as cases and accessories. Visit us in-store at Forces Flagship MacBean. Shop online now at dbesttoys.com. No credit card required. Free delivery throughout Trinidad and Tobago on orders over $300. Cash or links on delivery. Order via call or WhatsApp at 32DBEST to order. And remember, we have the best toys at the best prices.
Hi, this is David Rudder, and I'll see you at Suite 100 Jazz in June. See you.
If it matters to you, it matters to us. We report the news. News in real time. TTT News, first at 6:30 p.m. TTT News, online at www.ttt.live. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant. TTT News, nightly at 6:30.
Positivity to me is a way of life. It's a way of being.
I like words.
Tactical. If I had so much
this place
outside of the community.
So we know what I'm a gang leader.
Music is the healing. Find a new skill to do something.
You want this to be 25% of your meal.
You can go to Olympics too.
Tokyo 2020 became the goal.
And we're going to talk about achieving.
And that was my dream, to get 9 ones.
Out of the word achieve, you're left with ICE. Now everybody could achieve and have.
Wednesdays on the Now Morning Show.
Trinidad and Tobago, the entertainment capital of the Caribbean. But in 2020, the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic hit us with a complete shutdown.
Trinidad and Tobago can anticipate even higher numbers of persons contracting the COVID-19 virus.
However, with the ability to get vaccinated,
we have received our first tranche of COVID-19 vaccines, 33,600.
Our cultural ambassadors are able to travel and create opportunities. This is Hands-On, where we highlight those who have taken up the responsibility of representing us and our vibe.
Wednesdays on the Now Morning Show.
Forty-one minutes after 6 o'clock. Welcome back inside the Now Morning Show. As you just heard from the Minister of Health, the Honorable Terrence Dayal Singh, that we got 43,200 pediatric vaccines arrived from Spain yesterday, and we're going to be starting to distribute them from tomorrow. This morning, we have His Excellency Fernando Nogales, the Ambassador of the Kingdom of Spain, joining us on the Now Morning Show to chat a bit about, well, just that. Good morning to you, Ambassador.
Good morning. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much for being here. I'm curious about the relationship between Trinidad and Tobago and Spain. Where does it stand right now?
Well, I think we have a very good relationship. There are a number of things that were put in place many years ago, and we are evolving them. Mm-hmm. We are on the political side. So we are the minister wants to come to Spain, and he will come to Spain, I think, in the coming months, most probably. I think on the economic side, we are trying to see how our companies are being present, and we are working together with the Ministry of Trade to organize a trade mission, because there are very few Trinidadian companies who are already exporting to Spain. We would like that number to increase. We are cooperating with the Ministry of Education on a program to revamp how Spanish language is taught here. Mm-hmm. This Friday at Nalis Auditorium, we are going to screen a Spanish movie as part of the European Film Festival. In December, hopefully, we are going to resume our flamenco concert at Napa, which is one of the highlights of our calendar. Yeah. We are very actively working with CARFA on different health program, but obviously, possibly the highlight of all our action is the program of donation of vaccines. We donated vaccines for adults, and now the vaccines for pediatric vaccines.
Can you tell us a little bit about how that came to be? I mean, is it that you guys offered? Is it that we asked? How did it work?
No, we offer. In April last year, my Prime Minister offered to donate vaccines that Spain had to countries in the continent, and that time was adult vaccines, and we offer, and we have become the second donor to the Latin American and the Caribbean. Mm-hmm. Then that program was expanded to Africa. It is a program that in Spain is extremely popular. There was no disagreement in Parliament, and the more that our society has learned about the program, the more pride we've got in that program, because you have to take into account that Spain is a country that on a regular year we used to welcome more than 80 million tourists. Yeah. So it's a country that has to be opened. Mm-hmm. And obviously we learn from that we before the pandemic we were a high vaccination country, but the first phase of the pandemic was so hard on Spain. There were tens of thousands of people, particularly elderly people, dying because of the pandemic. And when vaccines became available, what happened is that people were egging their friends, their neighbor, please get vaccinated. Your turn is going to be Monday. Are you going to be there? We will meet there. So that was the kind of thing that I could learn from my uncles that was happening. Mm-hmm. And so once that happened, we knew that if a country is not vaccinated, the population is not vaccinated, sooner or later you are going to get back an uptick of the pandemic. Yeah. So this is it's a matter of intelligent solidarity.
Mm-hmm. And so you guys offered the pediatric vaccines to us as well, but you offered it to the Caribbean, and we were the first to take it up.
Well, yeah, because it was on a first come, first served basis. What happened is that the Ministry of Health has a very capable civil servant that also has the trust of the minister, who has been all the back and forth that the Minister de Yeltsin referred to with our own Spanish medicine agency, all the logistics, all the details, all the contracts with our own ministry, but also Pfizer. Yeah, so that was, and also my deputy, and I want to pay homage to them, to Anita Sohan, that's the name of the civil servant, to our civil servant in our agency, but also my deputy head of mission, Mr. Fernandez.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Ambassador, is this the first tranche of another batch that's going to be coming to us soon?
Well, it is not excluded that there are going to be second or third tranches. It need be. I cannot. I don't know, but why not?
Yeah. Because I'm just thinking about the partnership that we have with the countries, and I'm hoping, the minister said we're hoping for an uptick in this type of vaccines. So I'm wondering if we're going to see more coming, if not from your country as well, maybe from others.
Well, I cannot talk for other countries, but as I said, in Spain, this is a policy that enjoys total support. This is something that we are very proud of. And obviously, yes, we are ready to donate.
Ambassador, I can't help but wonder, oftentimes when we hear about, countries gifting other countries, there's some contract or some clause in the contract that says, in return, we get X, Y, or Z. Is there any sort of clause in the contract between Trinidad and Tobago and the Kingdom of Spain?
There's none.
None. So this is just...
Well, it is a program that has been offered to all the countries in the continent. There is no.
So Spain doesn't get anything from this. It's just the opportunity to be able to say, well, we are being, this is goodwill between Trinidad and Tobago and the Kingdom of Spain.
Yes, that's very clear. And the thing is that, well, what I can do is invite Trinidadian citizens to come to Spain for tourism, but that's for their pleasure, not because there is a debt to us. I mean, we are lucky that we have. I have met a number of people who tell me how much they enjoyed their stay in Spain. So this is the goodwill.
Yeah, well, I've been to Spain actually. We had a World Music Festival back in 2008, and I was able to go and experience and I learned about flamenco for the first time properly then, and it's fantastic music. Very difficult to play, but fantastic music.
Yeah, but the Spaniards who live in Trinidad, we feel here very welcome. So so that's. It's perfectly okay. There are no hidden clauses.
Now, Ambassador, in terms of the donation, you also spoke about the Spanish Language Day and that sort of thing. What else is the embassy doing in TNT that we can look forward to?
Well, for example, there's also, on health, there is this program that we are carrying with CARFA, and it was important that at the time we provided with finance so that they could buy the inputs that allowed for the full sequence of the genome. We are also working very actively. I think this program about to revamp how Spanish is taught in the country, I think is going to be important, because there are a number, not only public, the Minister of Foreign Affairs was very clear on that, but particularly from the private sector, who realize that if their executive learn to speak Spanish, their products are going to be present in many other in many other countries, the countries in the vicinity. And this is a program that we participate, but we would like to have. Well, and the aim is that other embassies from Spanish-speaking countries participate. So that's going to be.
Well, as you mentioned that, I'm curious. I understand that there's a difference between the Spanish that's spoken in Spain versus the Spanish that we would have learned from, let's say, Venezuela or even Colombia. Is there major differences, or if we learn general Spanish, we should be fine?
The wonderful thing about that is you go to a bookshop in Spain, so you find a number of books, and then you see authors, and there is not a flag associated with it. So it means that you talk, you read, you write in Spanish. There are different varieties, and the good thing is that the best practitioners, the academics, the scholars, they've got together. They've been getting together for very many years, and for example, they have created something that is a dictionary, the Pan-Hispanic dictionary of the Spanish language, which means that there is not a proper way of talking Spanish. And the thing is that, well, some of the fun is that sometimes there are words that in a given country are positive, in another country are negative. Well, that's the fun of it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And one of the things that we've been doing is that we organize on the 23rd of April. This is the day that we organize Language Day. We commemorate the death of Cervantes. It is also the day that when Shakespeare died. So it is the day that we celebrate the Spanish language with no qualification.
Okay.
And that's the beauty of it. In Spain, or there is not Spanish language, a peninsular language.
Right.
And no, it is.
It's all Spanish.
It is all Spanish. And for example, let me remind you that writers such as García Márquez, the author of 100 Years of Solitude, or Vargas Llosa, they wrote some of their best novels when they were living in Spain back in the 60s, 70s, and so on and so forth. Vargas Llosa lives in Spain, but the contrary is also true.
Yeah.
Well, because Spain is a very open, very welcoming country.
Well, speaking of being open and welcoming, have there been any situations where, I know we had a whole heap of Venezuelan migrants that would have come to Trinidad and Tobago. Have you guys been doing any work with those migrants to maybe send some to Spain or any sort of situation like that?
Well, what Spain did in May 2020, we organized the first donors conference to look at the humanitarian dimension of the Venezuela situation, and we've managed to get a number of countries around it to devote money to a number of programs that could tackle that situation in a comprehensive way. Then last year, Canada took the relay, and this is something that is working on. In Spain, we have received around 300,000 Venezuelan people. Because of treaties, they can come to Spain. Sometimes not particularly difficult.
Okay.
There are a lot of cases of double nationality. They can acquire Spanish nationality relatively easy after a few years of staying in Spain. And obviously the cultural affinity is extremely close, and the humanitarian dimension of the Venezuela situation is very close is at the top of the concern of my government.
Okay. Well, Ambassador, I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning on the Now Morning Show. I believe that, I want to say thank you on behalf of Trinidad and Tobago for the vaccines, first of all, and then thank you for all the other work that you guys are doing. And we look forward to some more work from the Kingdom of Spain and the Embassy for Trinidad and Tobago.
Always a pleasure. I have to reciprocate, and I think that everything is possible because there has been extremely positive attitude while you've heard and seen how positive Minister Dejal Singh is. This amazing that he stays positive and smiling despite all the extremely intense work that he has been going through all these months.
Yeah, and like you said, it's one thing after the other, so we just keep watching to see what's going to be next.
Well,
I want to thank you again, Ambassador, for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency Fernando Nogales, the Ambassador of the Kingdom of Spain, joining us on the Now Morning Show because they donated 43,200 vaccines, pediatric vaccines, for St. Trinidad and Tobago, rolling out from tomorrow with our Ministry of Health. Of course, when we come back from the next break, we're going to be giving away some jazz tickets. Well, one jazz ticket. So stay tuned. It's the Now Morning Show.
For generations, hard work and good advice have been essential. So when hard work gives me tough pain, I rely on Panadol Ultra that relieves fast 5 types of tough pain. Take good advice. Take Panadol Ultra. For pain relief, we have a Panadol for you. Take good advice. Take Panadol.
I will make food security a reality.
I will design groundbreaking prototypes.
I will create the next life-saving vaccine.
Whatever your career aspirations, the University of the West Indies St. Augustine campus is where tomorrow's game changers begin their journey. With fully accredited programs across 8 faculties, our graduates are innovating regionally and impacting globally. See what it's like to be UE. Visit sta.uwi.edu/apply.
Don't make them ask. Wear your mask.
Going beyond the headlines. asking the questions you want answered, exploring government policies and how they impact you. We are delving deeper.
Join TTT this Thursday at 6 p.m. for Delving Deeper with Minister the Honorable Marvin Gonzalez.
Wednesdays on the Now Morning Show.
Trinidad and Tobago, the entertainment capital of the Caribbean. But in 2020, the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic hit us with a complete shutdown.
Trinidad and Tobago can anticipate even higher numbers of persons contracting the COVID-19 virus.
However, with the ability to get vaccinated,
we have received our first tranche of COVID-19 vaccines, 33,600.
Our cultural ambassadors are able to travel and create opportunities. This is Hands-On, where we highlight those who have taken up the responsibility of representing us and our vibe.
Wednesdays on the Now Morning Show.
Greetings, I am Lou.
And I am Muhammad. And we are Freetown.
And we will be performing at Sweet 100 FM Jazz.
June 4th at the Hyatt Waterfront. Can you feel the love that's in the air? If you feel it, let me hear you say.
A fusion of our culture and music.
We will be coming with all our vibes, all our love, and all our stories for every single one of you.
Love.
Respect.
Sweet 100 presents Jazz and June. Saturday, June 4th, 2022. A fusion of our music and culture. Visit our social media pages at Sweet 100.1 FM and listen to us on radio for more details. Sweet 100.1 FM. Jazz and June. Saturday, June 4th.
That's right, Saturday, June 4th. We have Sweet 100 Jazz Fusion. And ladies and gentlemen, I want you to give us a call this morning and you have the chance to win a ticket to go for absolutely free. So for absolutely free, you get to put on your best white frock and you get to go down to by the Hyatt Waterfront to take in some fusion of
don't
jazz.
Tell them who it is, because you might want to ask that. So
we
don't tell
might
them
want to ask
who it is.
who performing?
Yeah, you might not.
Them
not
know
yet.
who performing
They know who
already, man.
performing,
Them know.
still.
You know why I say they know?
Don't tease
you know
them.
why I say they know? Because that ad runs so much. That ad runs so much. I sure you know that who performing in this show.
By now and by
you're
heart.
not excited about it and you want to go. But that's not the question I want to ask.
Exactly.
I'm going to make it a little more difficult than that. Look, they're showing them who performing.
Yeah,
we can ask that question.
No, that out of it, that out of it.
But I want to let you guys know that for this week only, advance tickets for Sweet 100's Jazz will remain at 500. That's until this Saturday, the 28th of May. You can get tickets at our advertised outlets. If you don't have a credit card, to log on to islandetickets.com. You can check out Athletes by the Park, which is down in San Fernando, Sal Lounge Fashion, which is in Shops of Arima, Mart's Liquor Palace, which is 40 Diego Martin Main Road, and of course digital flagship stores located at C3 Center, San Fernando, Trin City Mall, and next door on Maraval Road. You can check them all out to get your tickets for jazz.
Yeah, and of course, remember, this is not just a dress white rockers, but this is a premium thing, premium drinks inclusive. So picture you.
When you dress up in all white,
understand?
you expect to have me put on your white frock and you come out with your bev.
Listen, and you have that nice waterfront skyline, so pictures galore.
And it started in the afternoon, right? So you get to see the sunset while the jazz is jazzing.
Instagram ready.
Oh,
so remember, you can call us at 622-4010. We are waiting for your calls.
Instagram ready.
Instagram ready. All the angles. This angle, this angle. You making sure you want the sunset. You're making sure you're looking out for that golden hour. You see around 5:15 to 30 there? When the sun is a nice kind of orange and you see the pink and hues, listen, your Instagram ready. So call us at 622-4010. Now we're giving tickets all week this week, but today you can only win one ticket and you have to call us first to hear what the question is.
You know what they say, a ticket a day. They don't say anything about that, but a ticket today is what we're going to give away. That's what we say for the week this week. A ticket today is what we shall give away. 622-4010. And you know, people have been on social media talking about, you know, well, they're calling the show jazz, but look at how much soca artists have. I don't know if I realize jazz is music, right? And it just means how you present the music. Because there was a point in time when they were telling people who were doing what we now call jazz music, that what they was doing wasn't jazz.
Yeah.
And I do think that we need to give our artists the opportunity to be able to explore a wider variety of what you're accustomed to seeing them doing. So maybe, just maybe, you might see some of these artists do something that you never see them do before. It might just be out of the box a little bit. You never know.
I like how you have a nice, polished explanation for it. Listen, it's a fusion. That's it. It is a fusion of musicians. We're going down to the waterfront. We're looking pretty. We're in white. Drinks inclusive. And we're going to listen to some music. Don't think too much about it. Come down or even call us now, 622-4010, and win a ticket, and we'll see you there. You know, we'll see you there. But who are you looking forward to? Don't say Freetown. Who are you looking forward to see? Who are you looking forward to see, like, in their element?
Kay Allen.
Yes.
Kay Allen is a poor reason. Of course, King David Michael Rudder.
Of course.
I mean, and then McGill here in the back. Oh gosh, you see when Patsy touches stage?
This version is really
But this is my
nice.
point, right? When
this
I said that we
really
don't know what they have in store for us, and I
Yeah.
think that we need to give artists the opportunity to be able to explore music. We can't put them in a box and expect them to stay there, right?
Yeah.
Like Patrice did this version of
This
Islands.
is for Strength of a Woman?
No, she did this actually for the Republic. They show that we showed here on TTT, produced by Digicel and produced by TTT as well.
Right,
It was a collaborative show, and the show started with her performing this with just an acoustic
This is beautiful.
and grand piano and Patrice Roberts.
Yeah.
What more you need in life?
You understand?
Tell me there's not jazz now. Come now, man. Better than that.
It's so beautiful. Yeah. And we're going to be hearing more of that. Of
course.
On
And
the
of course,
waterfront.
I'm on Destra open she mouth. Anything that
Listen,
come out is just hold on. So
I mean.
I don't know how are they gonna be able to stay up for the whole night. I don't know how you're gonna be able to contain all that excitement, all that energy. I don't know how we're gonna pack that in front of the waterfront.
No, but I don't know how we're going to get people to leave, because I feel like it's going to be a problem. And people like, encore, we want more. I mean, it's a whole heap. I mean, just David Rudder. We're talking about, we have the ladies, Destra, Patrice, you have Nyla coming through. You know, we have Freetown coming through. We have all these other acts. It's
We
going
have
to be
Joshua
amazing.
Grello. We have some artists that are going to blow your mind. You know what I mean? Pedro Lazama. It's going to be a fantastic show. I have no doubt about it whatsoever.
Yeah.
And we have a ticket to give away, but like if nobody don't want it, I will take it, because I know some people who tell me they want.
You can't pocket it. We have to leave it to see who else can be able to
But if
call in to
nobody
get
calls
it.
to win
No.
it?
Well, then who knows?
We
You
can't
might be
do
able
a
to.
little
I'll be able to put that across tomorrow.
I mean, we could always scalp it outside.
Nah, I can't scalp, boy. Imagine I looking pretty going down there and scalping.
You will get the most money for it.
You think so?
I don't understand. You feel it? You need ugly scalpers in the streets. Nobody knows to buy from ugly scalpers.
I can't scalp. I'm also seeing that we have Shada Patissa.
Yes.
Who will also
be doing
on
a
the
tribute
lineup.
to her dad as well. She'll be doing a celebration of her dad, Mangal
Patissa. Nice,
so it's going to be, I mean, the artists on this
It's going to be a vibe. It's going to be a vibe.
It's a whole mood.
Yeah.
Marcia is also going to be performing. I saw a clip of her performing at Fiesta Plaza, and she was bringing the house down. Like, I can't wait. I think it's just going to be back to back, like, monster performances.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are ready for it, if I'm being honest.
I tell you, nobody's going to want to leave.
Yeah.
I mean, when I heard Kay Allen sing, I didn't even want her to leave the studio. So if I'm hearing her on that night, she's not going anywhere. She has to sing for me all the time. I mean, her voice is amazing.
Like I said, guys, a ticket today is what we want to give away. If you don't call and win it today, then I will take it and do what I will with it. So let's take a break.
He will take it away.
I will. Hey.
See what I did there?
I do see what you did there. But what I'll do here is I'll take a commercial break, and we come back with more. We have your birthdays and so much more. Stay tuned. It's in our morning show.
D-Best Baby Registry is here. At dbesttoys.com, we want to help you get everything needed to comfortably welcome your new baby. dbesttoys.com is loaded with all the baby essentials to suit your style and safety needs and to fit everyone's budget. Parents can create their baby registry from the comfort of their homes. Just log on to dbesttoys.com and click on the registry tab. Browse all our items from cribs, strollers, car seats, walkers, and bouncers to feeding and nursing accessories, potties, play mats, clothing, and sensory toys. And simply click Add to Registry. Parents also enjoy 10% off their remaining items in their registry upon completion. Be gifted with what you really need to keep your baby happy and healthy, and create the best baby registry at dbesttoys.com today.
It's your girl Mauricia Kagan, and I'm here to invite you to a musical experience, jazz, a fusion of culture and music, and it's happening on June 4th, 2022. And guys, Trinidad and Tobago, the cast is extensive, and I, Mauricia Kagan, will be gracing the stage with none other than the legend Carl Beaver Henderson. I am excited. So if you need more info, Sweet 100.1 FM, you can log on to their Facebook page, or you can tune into their radio station. Trust me, the ads play like every 30 seconds. Log on, get your tickets, come on down. It's going to be amazing, an amazing evening of entertainment. Get your tickets now. Jazz, a fusion of culture and music, happening on June 4th, 2022. I can't wait to see you guys. I'll be there. See you soon. Get your tickets now.
I love the look and smell of litter. From this huge pile, I can see that many people also find it attractive.
Yes, Charlie. Litter is indeed attractive. It attracts roaches, flies and mosquitoes, and rats.
My pets.
Don't be a litter bug, Charlie. Do the right thing. Don't litter.
I may not be right for you, but I'm right for somebody.
It's your girl Didi, and we are back with another episode of We Outside. You know we have been hitting you with events week upon week. Greatness happening, and it continues to happen.
I may not be right for you, but I'm right for somebody. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm looking good, I'm feeling good, I'm real good, I'm real.
Happy birthday. If it's your birthday, then happy birthday. Happy birthday to you if you're celebrating today. I want to say a special happy birthday going out to my good friend Afia Francis, who celebrates her birthday today. Afia, I hope that you have a great day today and you enjoy it to the absolute max and make the most of it and all of that good stuff. Let me also say happy birthday going out to Mrs. Jarlene Goodwin, who sang Rudder. Longest name in history. Happy birthday to you, my dear. I hope that you enjoy your day to the absolute max and have fun as well. I know you will. Let me also take a moment to say lots of people celebrating today, boy. Joanna Joseph, happy 50th birthday to you, Joanna. I hope that you have a great day today. I know you're gonna enjoy it. I know you're gonna enjoy it. So happy birthday one time to you. Hey, my partner celebrating his birthday today, and I mean, we are colleagues in this business, but he also is a part of a promotional entity that's been doing some fantastic work. They did great work for Carnival, and they continue to do so. Mr. Ryan Shenhong, a.k.a. Chinese. Happy birthday, okay. Chinese. Hope you have a great day today, and I know you're going to enjoy it, whatever you decide to do. I also want to say happy birthday to a former schoolmate of mine, Kelsha Charles, who celebrates her birthday today. Kelsha, I hope that you have a great day today and you enjoy it, and you make the most of whatever the day brings. You know what I mean?
Something wrong, Ruckus?
No, nothing's wrong. I'm just saying happy birthday. Let it simmer and settle a little bit.
Yeah.
I also want to say happy birthday going on to Maria James, celebrating today as well. Maria, happiest of birthdays to you. It's an outfit, but
Ruckus.
And to everybody else who's celebrating today, I want to wish you a happy birthday, a happy anniversary, a happy whatever you may be celebrating today. I hope that you make the most of this Tuesday on the Rocks.
Of course. I have one birthday greeting. Happy birthday going out to Akila Robinson. Akila, sorry, I don't have a picture of you, but I hope you have a great day today. I know you're going to enjoy it. Of course, happy birthday to you if you are celebrating a birthday today. And as I always say, good morning to all our viewers, listeners, those logged on Facebook. Hope you have a great Tuesday on the Rocks.
Oh, are we singing now? Is that what we're doing?
I love that. I did my scales this morning, huh? Tuesday on the Rocks.
Ma'am, fish scales is not the same thing as...
And I am a pescatarian. That's
exactly.
Yeah, it's on the nose.
I don't understand.
Ah,
Why am I
it's
subjected to
Tuesdays.
this in the morning?
And
Tuesdays
don't you
when
love
they
it? Look
rock
at your face. You're smiling. You're glowing.
You know,
understand?
my parents taught me to be very polite, so I'm trying my best, you know, to be as polite as
I'm glad
possible.
that you're trying your best today because I'm not sure about other days. But listen, I accept it as
You
it
know,
comes.
here's the thing, right, Kimberly? I have owned it, and in case you don't remember, what's my name?
Ruckus.
Why is that? I'm not trying to hide it. I'm not calling myself. I'm not trying to say I'm Mr. Polite. I'm not saying that. No, that's not my nickname. I'm not even trying to use my real name.
That's your nickname? I thought that was an idea, no? I
What,
thought
Ruckus,
that was Gonna call it double R days. Ruckus Remy.
Oh, I was about to say Willie Double. Come, I wanted. You get me confused there. I don't think my parents would have named me that.
Yeah.
Would they? Daddy?
I'm sure you're going to get a message just now. Of course, guys, coming up next, we are going to be talking about the monkeypox disease that, of course, is taking the world. I mean, one of the interesting things, Ruckus, that the minister mentioned is that this is endemic to West Africa. So it's not something that's new, but I think what's interesting is that there might be a new strain, which I think is causing all the frenzy.
Well, it's not just that, it's that it seems to have formed a bunch of clusters in countries all over the world, which leads the question. And, you know, this is something I thought about yesterday. And, we don't realize that every one of us is our own little world, right? So everybody that you meet has a world that they affect. And there are some worlds that you will never, ever interact with. And then there are some worlds that meet and then they go back to wherever they come from and they spread whatever they would have gotten wherever they went, right?
Yeah.
So let's say, for example, there was a conference or a meeting of sorts of people, and they just happen to all have gotten infected with monkeypox. And they went back to wherever they come from without signs. And then they spread it to wherever they go. And this is how these things happen. Like, I mean, we see it in movies all the time, and we never think it's real. And then COVID-19 happened.
Exactly.
And this is what I'm saying, is that we don't take it into consideration. So that, I would have thought that we would have heightened our safety precautions after the pandemic, after the world got shut down for a year.
But you know what, Ruckus? We'll talk more about that after because we have to go to break. So monkeypox, are going to be talking signs, symptoms, and treatment with the professor of virology. Stay with us.
Change your fate. Start to win at life with $20,000 every month. Win $20,000 every month for 20 years with NLCB's newest game, Win for Life. 6 numbers from 28 plus the cash ball could make you win for life. You deserve a win. Play Win for Life today. Visit NLCBGames.com for details. Players must be 18 years and over. Please play responsibly.
The best laptops and tablets are at dbesttoys.com. Get an Evo 11.6-inch ultra-thin notebook, a Gateway 11.6-inch FHD ultra-slim notebook, a Gateway 14.1-inch ultra-slim notebook, a Gateway 11.6-inch 2-in-1 convertible notebook, or an HP 14-inch laptop at the best prices in TNT. Get the Fi 7 tablet for $474. We also carry Fi HD 8 tablet, Fi HD 10 tablet, and the Amazon Kids Edition 7, 8, and 10-inch tabs. You can also shop the latest Amazon Fire Sticks. Call now at 32-DBEST to order, or visit us in-store at Forces Flagship McBean. Shop online now at dbesttoys.com. Free delivery available throughout Trinidad and Tobago. Cash or links on delivery. The best deals on laptops and tablets are at dbesttoys.com.
Greetings, I am Lou.
And I am Muhammad. And we are Freetown.
And we will be performing at Sweet 100 FM Jazz.
June 4th at the Hyatt Waterfront. Can you feel the love that's in the air? If you feel it, let me hear you say.
A fusion of our culture and music.
We will be coming with all our vibes, all our love, and all our stories for every single one of you.
Love.
Respect.
I may not be right for you, but I'm right for somebody.
It's your girl Didi, and we are back with another episode of We Outside. You know we have been hitting you with events week upon week. Greatness happening, and it continues to happen.
I may not be right for you, but I'm right for somebody. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm looking good, I'm feeling good, I'm real good, I'm real.
Positivity to me is a way of life. It's a way of being.
I like woods.
Tactical. If I had so much
this place
outside of the community.
So we know what I'm a young leader.
Music is the healing.
Find a new skill or to do something.
You want this to be 25% of your meal.
You can go to Olympics too.
Tokyo 2020 became the goal.
And we're going to talk about achieving.
And that was my dream, to get 9 ones.
Out of the word achieve, you're left with ICE. Now everybody could achieve and have.
We don't know what to say, we monkey one do. We don't know what to say, we monkey one do. Those the like monkey, those one too. We don't know what to say, we monkey one do. I mean, I get vexed, monkey more vexed.
It's now about 16 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock. You're on the Now Morning Show. I'm Kimberly D'Souza. Now, according to a BBC report, more than 80 cases of monkeypox have been confirmed in at least 12 countries. The World Health Organization has said that another 50 suspected cases are being investigated and warned that more cases are likely to be reported. Now, while our local Ministry of Health has confirmed that there are no suspected cases of the virus locally, we wanted to talk to an expert about the disease. And with me, I have Professor Christopher Ora, who is a professor of veterinary virology at the School of Veterinary Medicine at the University of the West Indies. Now, Professor Ora is very qualified as he is a veterinary surgeon, has a PhD in viral immunopathology, and has many years' research and experience working predominantly on vector-borne viral and protozoal diseases. Professor Ora, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us on Now.
Good morning. No problem. Good morning, everybody.
Now, Professor, first of all, what is monkeypox?
It's a virus, or that's been around for a long time. So it's nothing new like SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes COVID-19. We've known about it. I teach my lectures at the vet school. I teach it in that. So that's the good news. Is we know this virus pretty well. And so we're pretty prepared to deal with it. Although what we're seeing at the moment is probably the biggest outbreak outside Africa that we've ever seen.
Now, Professor, before I ask my second question, I just want to warn our viewers that we're about to show some images of what monkeypox looks like. And for those who might be suffering from trypophobia, this might be a bit triggering. So just a warning for that, right? Now, Professor, as we move forward, I mean, what are the symptoms of monkeypox and how can we treat this?
Yeah, so I'd like to start off by saying the symptoms are usually much milder than what you're seeing at the moment. These are the more severe cases. So what happens if you catch it is you start off with a couple of days when you feel a bit not so well, feel a bit fatigued, you get muscle ache, backache, headache, those kind of things, fairly nondescript type symptoms that you'd get with many viral diseases. But then after that, around 3 days after that, you start to get a rash, and that rash is slightly different to your usual rash in the fact that they call it, so it's very itchy, and you get little kind of get little bumps like you saw in some of the videos, and some of the pictures there, and those bumps then they initially start where they're fluid filled, and one of the pictures showed it was fluid filled, and then that bursts open, and then you get what we call a pustule, where you get some pus in it, and then that eventually forms into a scab. So you get these sort of these spots, pustules, scabs over your body, especially in certain places like the face and the feet and the hands. But I have to say those pictures that we saw there are the more severe end. Usually it's a pretty mild disease, and it after a certain amount of time it disappears.
Now, I'm hearing monkeypox, and I'm also thinking chickenpox. So is it a relation to chickenpox as well?
It can look a little bit like chickenpox, but it's not the same virus at all as chickenpox. It's caused by a pox virus, and every animal or species in the world has its own pox virus, pretty much. Cows have it, of course. We have smallpox, which is a very nasty disease, and most of these pox viruses are what we call self-limiting, in that you do get better from them, but some of them are more likely to be what we call zoonotic, in other words, pass from the animal that it's in to humans. And monkeypox is one of the ones that can pass from animal species to humans. So, and it is also one of the ones that can, under certain circumstances, be more severe than the others. So we do have to keep a very close eye on it.
Now, Professor, monkeypox, if you do have the symptoms, how is it treated? Is there a lotion that you can put on your skin, or do you have to let the virus take its course?
You basically, like with most viral diseases, you have to let the virus take its toll. Obviously, the critical thing here is if you do have symptoms, these kind of symptoms, to seek medical help, because you are infectious. And this is not like COVID-19. It's not like transmitted in the air when we breathe. It's transmitted by a very close. You have to have very close contact, and these lesions that you've been seeing, those lesions, there's quite a lot of virus in those lesions. So the best thing to do is, if you do have these lesions, is to make sure that you don't infect anybody else. You can put sort of calamine lotion on and try to stop them itching, of course. But I'm afraid, as with most viral infections, they have to run their course.
So, Professor, if you do in fact contract the monkeypox virus, then you should go into some sort of quarantine, especially when the lesions begin to open.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it's important that people understand that it can be passed on, but it's a lot less easily transmitted than, for example, the COVID that we have at the moment, or measles and things like that. So it's not so much to worry about. We have a lot of advantages about this particular virus that make it not so transmissible. So what's happened here is it's taken hold because it's a mild disease, and it's infected quite a lot of people without us diagnosing it, without us actually confirming it. So that's why we're seeing so many cases now. But I'm confident that once the medical authorities around in these countries where they have it, once they get to grips with it, they start diagnosing it, and they follow up what we call contact tracing. They follow up people that might have it, and they then isolate those people and stop them transmitting it. I'm confident that they'll be able to stop it, and it won't. It's not what we call. Some viruses have what we say pandemic potential, like COVID. It has the potential to become a really nasty pandemic. I don't think that the monkey virus does, because of the nature of how difficult it is to transmit person to person.
Now, where did this virus originate, Professor? Because I'm hearing that it's endemic to some West African countries.
Yeah, so this is a virus that we've seen for many years. It usually occurs in tropical rainforests. It does occur in monkeys, but it does occur in other species as well, like rodents. It occurs in squirrels as well and things. So it's usually confined to those areas, but there are frequent outbreaks in Africa. And I'm afraid this is another example of a virus that has only really been thought about by the Western world when it's come and infected people in the Western world. So this is a virus that that Africans in various countries have to deal with all the time, with limited health services, and that's why some of them probably do succumb to it and die of it, because they don't get appropriate treatment for it. So hopefully this will wake up the Western world to start thinking more about how we can avoid this transmission, not only the transmission of this virus, not only in the Western world, but also in Africa.
So, Professor, should we be concerned that it's going to come to our shores? I mean, how concerning is this? How possible is this?
Well, there's always a possibility, but I think we have to be. I wouldn't be very concerned at the moment. We have to watch this virus carefully because it is, as you said, in affecting people in quite a few different countries. But that's still a relatively small amount of people worldwide. And also the fact that, as I said, it's not transmitted very easily. So I think it's very unlikely. Although it is possible that it will come to Trinidad. If it did come to Trinidad, the important thing is to catch it as early as possible and isolate it, because that would stop it from being transmitted to anybody else.
And how many cases have been reported globally? Do you have a figure for us?
I'm not sure about the update, but I think there's been I think it's now almost double figures of countries. And there's been and UK is probably the most. So the problem is it seems to be getting into certain groups. So homosexuals, gay men seem to be people that are coming to sexual health clinics, and they have the virus. So that would indicate that it's passing by close direct contact within that group of people. So we can, like when we do all type of risk assessments, we can look to see which type of people or people who carry out certain practices. If they're most at risk, then we can target them for the surveillance. And I think, as I said earlier, because of the nature of the transmissibility of this virus, health systems around the world should get on top of this. Although, we have to obviously, we've been surprised before. We were surprised with COVID, for example. But at least we know this virus. We know how to control it. If necessary, we have a vaccine already for it because we can use the original smallpox vaccine, which protects against it. So we have things in our armory that we know are able to control it. So that's why we're not, as a scientific community, we're not so worried about it. Although we need to obviously, put everything in place.
Now, in terms of the efficacy of the vaccine, because I know our Minister of Health locally, he was thinking of sourcing a vaccine, JYNNEOS, to treat with the monkeypox disease. If it does come to our shores, how effective will it be in either preventing the vaccine or dealing with the disease, or either preventing the disease from spreading?
It's pretty good, this vaccine. It's the vaccine that some old people like me have already had, because it's the vaccine that was used for smallpox. So up to about I think it was 1990 or something, people were vaccinated against it, were using that vaccine, and apparently it's about 85% protective against monkeypox. So that's pretty good. That means that the vast majority of people would be protected if they had the vaccine.
And finally, this has been endemic to the West African countries, but in the Western world, we're now kind of seeing it coming on. What is the reason for this sort of frenzy?
Sorry, what was the last bit of the question?
I'm just wondering, what is the reason for this sort of frenzy? It has been endemic in the African countries for a while, and now we in the Western world are now learning about it, and there's this big kind of, fright. What's the reason for that?
This always happens. Remember Ebola? When Ebola was spreading in Africa for many years and killing people, and immediately when it came out of Africa, a few years back, and started affecting just a few people in the Western world, everybody started panicking, and then it galvanized the Western world to then produce a vaccine, which is now being used across the world, an effective vaccine. So this really is a social indictment of society, that we only start worrying about these particular viruses when they actually come and affect us in the Western world. And that's awful, because we should be looking to control these viral diseases at source in the countries where they are and support people in those countries so they don't suffer from them. And it's crazy that the fact that every time one of these viruses comes out into the West, there's all this furore. We should be working much closely with these viruses at source all the time and supporting people in Africa and finding vaccines and finding effective treatments and actually using them in the countries in Africa where these diseases are. And then we won't get them because they're treated in the country.
Of course. Professor Ura, we're unfortunately out of time, but thank you so much for joining us here on Now and just sharing a bit about monkeypox and how it can be treated and, of course, what symptoms we can look out for. Thank you so much.
No problem.
And that was Professor Christopher Ura, who is a professor in veterinary biology at the University of the West Indies. Raucous, monkeypox.
Monkeypox, girl. Monkeypox. Now, I mean, I mentioned earlier, was it this week or was it last week when we first started talking about monkeypox? I told you where it was spreading and with whom. You didn't believe me. Now the professor said, you believe the professor?
Because he's the professor.
Wow. Wow.
This goes back to the conversation we had about the about education. Professor would have gone to school. He would have done his research. He would have done everything. He's a professor.
And he gave the same information that I gave.
And which is why we brought the professor for his expert opinion, not the hearsay and what you may have read.
I would have read it from a credible news source.
But
which
did
is
you
why
cite your source?
I said BBC.
Did you say BBC?
You, yeah.
Okay. Probably,
but you didn't listen to me because you was too busy doubting. But
no, doubting. I had only doubting
right.
Thomas.
I mean, for me, one of the most important things about what the professor said just now was that we don't care until it gets here.
Yes, true.
You know what I mean? Like, and we've seen that it happened with COVID-19.
Ebola. He mentioned Ebola.
We had carnival while in China, COVID was going on. No. we was balancing myself on the streets of Port of Spain. Carnival 2020. And meanwhile, the rest of the world is worrying about COVID-19.
Yeah. And it's only when, and I actually remember Ebola and doing some research on Ebola and being like, wait, but this is in Africa.
It's been in Africa.
It's been in Africa, and they've been dealing with it. And I think what he spoke about as well is so important. We need to early on partner with these countries and find ways to mitigate against the spread when it happens.
But there's also things to consider. I agree 100% that we should. But then there's geopolitics to consider, because not all the time would some of these countries be willing to partner with other countries to be able to accept vaccines or donations towards vaccines for fear of what the return might be, as in what they might have to give in order to get those things.
Can't we all just get along?
We probably can, but unfortunately we don't. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we have Shamna joining us. It's Tuesday. So that means we have Unique Not Different. Stay tuned.
Don't make them ask. Wear your mask.
Trinidad and Tobago, get ready for the ultimate musical experience. Saturday, June 4th, the Port of Spain International Waterfront, Suite 100.1 FM brings to you Jazz, a fusion of our music and culture. Introducing performances by Pedro Lazama, Joshua Regrello, Nyla Blackman, and Soca. Sharada Patissar with a tribute to her father, Mungel Patissar. Introducing Adrian Kong, called Beaver Henderson, featuring Kay Allen and Mauricia Kagan. Freetown Collective, Patrice Roberts and the A-Team Band. The Boss, King David Rudder. And the Queen of Bacchanal, Destra. Limited advance tickets now, $500. Premium drinks inclusive. Dress code, you must wear white. To purchase tickets, log on to www.islandetickets.com. No credit card, no worries. Stay tuned to Suite 100 and follow us on Facebook and Instagram for ticket outlet details. Jazz, a fusion of our music and culture. Brought to you by the #1 adult contemporary station in Trinidad and Tobago. Suite 100, powered by Digicel. Digicel, better together. Unicot, signed, sealed, delivered. And the TDT Limited Media Network. This is Jazz.
TDT News, nightly at 6:30. TDT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Oh, hi there. Welcome. Welcome to my shop. This is Jones Repair Shop, and I'm Mr. Jones. In my shop, there's nothing that cannot be fixed. The number one thing that I like to fix are hearts. Can you think about somebody who has heart in your life? Wow, your parents. They have an inner strength, right? So, has heart, everyone, means to have an inner strength.
Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. It's now about 25 minutes before the hour of 8 o'clock. Raucus is in studio with me. You know, Raucus, I was telling you about the fact that there was a Juneteenth ice cream that Walmart was supposed to actually bring out to commemorate Juneteenth that's happening in the U.S.
That's risky business.
And there was a backlash from it, so much so that they have to pull it,
I
right?
could have tell you that, Walmart.
And it reminded me of when a brand locally did that peace sign with the piece of chicken for emancipation and how there was a backlash about it. I feel like companies need to be wary of when they're using their brands and aligning their brands with certain types of, I don't want to say holiday, but certain types of events or, you know, things that would have been important to a certain race of people, and you're aligning your brand with it in a different way.
I think that it's important for us to be conscious and aware of a couple of things, you know. One, who's your target audience? B, who you're aligning yourself with. And having respect. I think respect is a fundamental factor.
Yeah.
Because you can't jump on something as a bandwagon and say, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to, you know, be a part of this movement. You can't just be a part of movements just like that. First of all, you have to understand what it is and where you would fit in it and how you fit in it. Because that brand you were talking about, the peace sign, they are very, very close to the community that would have been celebrating emancipation or whatever it was. But just, you know,
it was a bit,
like
it was a bit tone deaf. It was a, it was a bit, it was a bit tone deaf. It was a bit tone deaf.
And as I think a lot of brands suffer from that, is not realizing what room they're actually in, and they think that their little bubble in the office conference room around the I mean.
And actually, a lot of brands, they normally do that for Pride Month, right? You will see them bring out everything is rainbow. And I think Walmart also did the same thing as well, where for Pride Month, they painted, I think they also brought out an ice cream or some product that they brought out, and they painted everything with the rainbow. And it's like, you don't understand the struggle fully well to be aligning your brand with that.
And that's the thing, is that sometimes it may not be that they understand it, but they still want to support it. And I think we need to find ways of doing that makes the most sense to be
have
most
a conversation, Raucus.
Exactly.
Reach out to somebody in the group.
This is where I was going with it, is that we need to be able to communicate with each other to be able to figure out what's the best way to do this. How can I support you? Maybe that's a better approach rather than sitting down at an agency table and saying, well, I think this is a good idea. What do you think, Ralph?
Or rather than having a celebrity go and give you a drink. So hold the peace.
Influencer marketing seems to be the craze these days. I saw somebody got a backlash the other day from that as well, where they hired a bunch of influencers and took them to a very nice, expensive hotel.
Our local brand.
To be able to launch their local product that is supposed to be for low-end consumers. But these are not the same people that your influencers are reaching. And people had a big problem with it. But what's interesting for me is that the fact that so many people spoke about it means that the wrong thing worked.
Okay, interesting
You know what
point.
I mean?
Yeah, into
Like
some marketing.
they did the wrong thing, but the word still got out.
Yes.
So even though the influencers may not have been the target audience, when the news pick it up and when the social media trolls pick it up, it kind of work in a reverse way to be able to get the message out to everybody anyhow.
But isn't that the saying, any publicity is good publicity? But
So
is it though?
they say.
But what I will say, Ruckus, is that influencer marketing is new to us, and I think there will be a lot of trial and errors as we kind of decide exactly how we're going to go about doing things. Because again, they may have been in their room and say, you know what, this influencer is popular, I can take advantage of her followers and this and this and that and whatever. And so I think we need like more conversation or more research needs to be done in influencer marketing and how you can align your brand to influencers to get the kind of customers that you want for your product. So I believe we're going to be seeing a lot of trial and error in the next few months.
And you know, for me, the thing about influencer marketing is that it could be just a scam at some points, right? Because there's a facility where you can purchase followers. So if you as a brand only look at follower count and you look at engagement and you do, how do you verify the bots? How do you verify where I have purchased followers or purchased comments? Because people do that. I'm just gonna say it out straight. The people buy followers, they buy comments, they buy likes, and they do that in order to be able to gain access to influencer marketing so that they can say that they're an influencer.
And that they can say that they have this amount of followers so that you can buy into them
because
as well.
I have approached brands to do partnership agreements, and they've told me, well, you know, you need to have X amount of followers in order to be able to be considered for this in the first place. And I thought it very, very interesting because I can just purchase that amount of followers. Does it mean I'm going to get your message to the right amount of people? How effective is this level of marketing? Maybe one day we can actually have like you said, a breakdown about it and see exactly what that means. But I know somebody who has a lot of followers is Shamla. Shamla doing Unique Not Different, and this morning she's going to join us for a quick chat. Shamla, how are you doing this morning?
I'm good, Ruckus. How you doing?
I'm missing you in studio. Give you a long time I ain't seen you. It's what, 2 years now I ain't seen you in studio?
Yeah, and time run real fast, eh?
Yeah, boy. Yeah, time flying real fast.
It's been a while. How you doing?
I can't complain, you know. I hear trying to learn about how these things is operate and how we could best, you know, live life in this country and try and stay sane. How you going?
We come and change things permanently.
Say that again?
Pretty good. I said COVID came and changed some things permanently.
It seems that way for a lot of things, you know.
Yeah, it happens. And I saw that you had the interview with Monkeypox. That one is scary for me. Being with a disability and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm saying that's looking worse than COVID for me in particular. So I hope, you know, that don't spread.
I would have to agree with you there, and I know that also COVID-19 would have been still a huge part of a challenge, only because I know some people still can't get vaccinated, especially in certain communities with certain disabilities may not be able to get it, or comorbidities still may not be able to get it. Do you know, Shamla, if you still have lots of people who are concerned about that aspect of things, not being able to be vaccinated?
I remember I had Dr. Keegan Bagan come in and like throwing the myth with regards to that on the segment. And in terms of like vaccination, after that, there were a lot of people who, I guess, threw away the skepticism with regards to that because somebody with a disability had reservation. And in terms of vaccination, they are going out and getting vaccinated, but there are some who don't have access to come out their homes to get vaccinated. That is the problem. Yeah, they don't have access.
Understood.
Yeah.
Well, Shamla, let me say thank you so much for joining us this morning, and I want to wish you a fantastic Tuesday. Unfortunately, we couldn't get your guest inside in time, but I'm happy that we got a chance to chat with you a bit.
It's always a pleasure, Ruckus, and I'll see you next week.
Yes,
Bye.
ma'am. Take care.
Shamla.
Always a pleasure. Enjoy the rest of your day. And Shamla Maharaj there with, Unique Not Different. She joins us every Tuesday. Unfortunately, we can get her guest in, but hopefully next week we'll be able to get that resolved and sorted. Kimberly D'Souza is here. My name is Ruckus. We still have more inside the Now Morning Show. We encourage you to stay tuned. It's TTT and TTT Live online.
Line and Length, the #1 cricket program in the West Indies, is on TTT. Line and Length brings you up-to-date interviews, analysis, and highlights on the game in the region and internationally. Plus, there's an added bonus to receive a gift of gear each month with our grassroots program, Go to lineandlength.net to learn more. Line and Length in association with Massey United Insurance on TTT.
The Division of Education, Innovation and Energy's e-learning program for primary and secondary school students resumes. Tune in daily to stay on top of your studies. Lectures designed to guide you so that you keep up with your subjects. Also, for supplemental lessons and worksheets, visit our interactive website at www.thadeie.gov.tt.
Music is a piece of art that goes into the ears and straight to the heart. Music is also considered the international language that crosses all barriers and unites all cultures. The Cross Caribbean Countdown is a popular fan-driven music countdown show that features the hottest lineup of Caribbean stars and music. While spotlighting Caribbean businesses, Thursdays at 10 p.m. and Fridays at 9 p.m. exclusively on TTT with yours truly, Junior K.
We are something special, very special.
And remember to keep your tempo up.
Wednesdays on the Now Morning Show.
Trinidad and Tobago, the entertainment capital of the Caribbean. But in 2020, the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic hit us with a complete shutdown.
Trinidad and Tobago can anticipate even higher numbers of persons contracting the COVID-19 virus.
However, with the ability to get vaccinated,
we have received our first tranche of COVID-19 vaccines, 33,600.
Our cultural ambassadors are able to travel and create opportunities. This is Hands-On, where we highlight those who have taken up the responsibility of representing us and our vibe.
Wednesdays on the Now Morning Show.
Jazz, a fusion of our music and culture. Sweet 100 FM. I, Nyla Blackman, will be performing alongside Soca the Band on June 4th for an unforgettable experience. You don't want to miss it. See you guys there.
Of course, that's Adriana Chaiba with our national instrument, and she's performing her beautiful rendition of the song Kach Kach Hota Hai from the popular Bollywood movie, of course, by the same name. And that one was taken from the archives of our Diwali celebrations at NCIC's Diwali Nagar. Now, the National Council of Indian Culture has been celebrating Indian Heritage Month during the month of May in order to commemorate the 177th anniversary of the arrival of the East Indian indentured laborers to Trinidad and Tobago. The organization decided to hold 5 specific cultural shows, each with a specific area of interest in Indian culture, such as various forms of singing, dance, and classical Indian music. All this culminates in their grand cultural show to be held on Indian Arrival Day itself. There's also going to be a book festival and art exhibition, which is going to run from the 21st of May, which means it started already, to June 6th, 2022. In partnership with TTT, the NCIC has decided to premiere on national television the cultural shows held recently, starting with an evening of folk culture, which will be shown tomorrow, Wednesday, 25th of May, from 8 p.m., and again on Monday, 30th May, from 10 a.m., an evening of classical music. That's going to take place on the 26th of May, which is on Thursday, from 9 p.m., and then again on Monday, the 30th of May at 1:05 p.m., right after Playway Pick 2 and Pick 4, and a tribute to legends, which is going to be shown on Friday, the 27th of May at 8 p.m., and on Monday, the 30th of May at 3 p.m. So you can look forward to all that happening here on TTT, and of course you can be a part of our celebration of Indian Arrival Day. How do you usually celebrate Indian Arrival Day? Do you celebrate Indian Arrival Day?
I do it the typical Trini way. I ensure that I get my curry. I ensure that I get my curry. I have lovely, lovely neighbors, and they share their curry with me, so I'm looking out for my barfi.
So you don't even cook your own?
My pot is turned down on Indian Arrival Day because I know my bags of curry, they're coming for me at the gates. I get in my barfi, I get in my korma, I get in all these sweets, and I even get shatain. I love shatain. I love curry shatain.
You know, one year I tried to make gulab jamun.
Really?
Yeah. It came out quite interesting.
It's not as korma.
No, I wish. I mean, I like kurma too. But no, I actually made it one year, and then I think last year I tried to make it again, and I ruined it with the sugar. I got the fried part down, but when I tried to sugar it, I think I did some kind of mess with the sugar, and I messed it up.
So what you're saying is that you're going to experiment again and bring for us and the crew and everybody in TTT. Is that what you're saying?
You have hearing problems.
That you're gonna no, this side is hearing perfectly.
No, you're not. Obviously not, because I never said any of those words.
I thought I heard that.
That's what I said.
Maybe we were talking off air
no,
and
you need to check
we didn't
out your
hear
ears.
it. Okay.
So that I have been kind of getting to you. I think it might be somebody else talking in your ears from upstairs or something.
How do you celebrate though?
I mean, I do. I spend most of the day in the kitchen. I enjoy trying different things when it comes to making whatever the curry version of what I decide to make is that day.
So what's the menu for next week?
Girl, I don't know. That's too far ahead. I have real things before then.
If you do experiment with the gulab jamun, please bring it and let's just try it. Let's sample it.
If my wife gets away, I will have to experiment with it. Yeah. She loves it. So any chance she gets for me to try and make it, she will be more than willing. Morning there.
Oh. yeah. I mean, it's fun. It's really nice. I eat my curry and all those sorts of things. It's good.
But of course, we have the opportunity to turn on TTT and spend the day watching and celebrating Indian culture right here on TTT, because of course we'll be showcasing all of it. As I mentioned before, we have a lot of shows in store, and I know that all weekend we will be celebrating here on TTT and all of our stations as well. We do the celebration whenever we can. So I encourage you guys to just stay tuned. It's going to be a fantastic time had by all. We still have another clip of Adriana playing to close off the show this morning.
Now, not unfortunately, but I will be here in office on Monday because I'm working that holiday as well. So looking forward to see what we can normally go to do, and because I'm not sure exactly if we're going to be going on the streets and seeing people or whatever, but I'm looking forward to see what assignments we have on that day.
I think people tend to go to the beach a lot on that day. People tend to spend time with family. People tend to spend time, in places like the Savannah. We just hope it don't rain,
Plus, of course, there's the night time that you can look out for when you see all the diyas, when people light up their diyas and stuff like that.
That's
Is that
Diwali. That's Diwali.
No, people.
I think you're mixing things up.
No.
That's Diwali.
You know why? I think about the long
Festival
drive.
of Light. The Festival of Light for Diwali.
My bad. I'm thinking about the long drives.
What long drives?
A nice afternoon drive in the evening on the holiday.
You could do that on a Sunday, man.
No.
You could do that any day you want.
No.
I do want to encourage people to actually, if you have the opportunity, go out and explore Trinidad and Tobago. I know
that's
during the pandemic, we talk a lot about staycations and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of places that we take for granted, that people fly into this country to be able to see the variety of species of birds that we have. People flying to come and just take in the Caroni Swamp. And lots of us have never even been there. I mean, look at the situation with Asa, right? that happened where they had to close down for a bit. Thankfully, they're supposed to be reopened.
Sometime this year, they said that the reopening, And I mean, also to Rockers, you don't need to go by yourself. We have so many tour groups now that you can align yourself with. You can take your family with these tour groups, and I mean, it's something paid, but at least you know you have that tour guide taking you on these places. Some of them even give you a nice history tour, so you can learn about where you're visiting while you visit as well. I think it's a fun time.
I think it's a great way to spend time with your family. So if you have the opportunity to, then I would say seize it. The PTSC often does the little tours as well, so you can look out and see when they have another one coming up. They have beach runs sometimes, you know, so you can definitely take part in those and explore Trinidad and Tobago. I think we have a beautiful island here, and twin island, and I think we only say, well, Tobago's so pretty, and we leave Trinidad alone, and we say, well, go to Tobago and have fun. And you can, and that's perfectly fine. But, you know, Tobagonians, you can also come across to Trinidad and experience some things that you may not have in Tobago. I mean, you have the nicer beaches. And
people might be going to Tobago next week, so it's going to be a nice long weekend. Yes, it's going to be a long weekend. So people will be in Tobago. They probably might leave from Thursday evening, some on Friday, and head over there, have a nice little weekend, and come back to work on Tuesday.
Rest and relaxation.
Rockers, living up to his name, as usual, ladies and gentlemen, living up to his name.
You want some R&Rs, not
I'll be
Rockers.
working, I will be in the office, all right, eating my curry by my desk on Monday.
What a fantastic show it's been, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you guys so much for being here with us this morning. Did you learn anything new this morning, Kimberly?
I did learn about monkeypox. I also learned so many different things, Rockers, but I'm seeing that we have to go. Let me just say a special good morning, though, to our crew. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for holding it down. Of course, Rockers is here. I'm Kimberly D'Souza. Have a great, great Tuesday, all right?
Remember to make a difference today now.
Because together we aspire.
Together we achieve.
And here is Miss Adriana Achaiba, again with our national instrument and her beautiful rendition of the song Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. Have a great day, ladies and gentlemen.
At last, my love has come along. My lonely days are over. Hi everyone, it's your girl Kay Allen Maloney here, and I'm here to invite you to 100.1 FM Jazz, a fusion of music and culture. This would be at the Waterfront, June 4th, 2022. I'm going to be a feature act of Carl Beaver Henderson production. Guys, get your tickets now. See you there.
Positivity to me is a way of life. It's a way of being.
I like woods.
Tactical. If I had so much
this place
outside of the community. So we know what I'm a young leader. Music is the healing. Find a new skill to do something.
You want this to be 25% of your meal.
You could go to Olympics too.
Tokyo 2020 became the goal.
And we're going to talk about achieving.
And that was my dream, to get 9 ones.
Out of the word achieve, you're left with ICE. Now everybody could achieve and have.
Going beyond the headlines. asking the questions you want answered, exploring government policies and how they impact you. We are Delving Deeper.
Join TTT this Thursday at 6 p.m. for Delving Deeper with Minister the Honorable Marvin Gonzalez.
TTT News, delivering more news more often to more people. Follow us on social media at TTT Live Online. Log on to www.ttt.live.
Good morning. Welcome to TTT News. I am Roxanne Suraj. Topping our stories at this time. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has confirmed that there is no grant being disbursed to CARICOM member states from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and that any attempt by any persons to do so is a scam. In a post on his Facebook page, Dr. Rowley said last Saturday, whilst in Guyana, the chairman of CARICOM informed him that the Office of the Secretary General of the UN wanted to contact him and a couple other CARICOM heads to advise of a substantial grant received from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Dr. Rowley said his suspicion further heightened when he wasn't allowed to communicate to the Secretary General via call but only WhatsApp. Prime Minister Rowley said he was asked to make a substantial deposit in a Chinese bank as a prerequisite to receiving the grant, and that was when he was convinced that it was a brazen scam, and as such will be referring the matter to the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service and all other relevant authorities. Trinidad and Tobago has received a shipment of 43,200 doses of Pfizer COVID-19 pediatric vaccines donated by the Kingdom of Spain. The cargo arrived via Amerijet on Monday. Minister of Health Terence Dialsing and Spain's ambassador to Trinidad and Tobago, Fernando Nogales, were on hand to receive the shipment. A media release from the Ministry of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs says the government remains deeply appreciative of the pioneering support rendered by the Kingdom of Spain. The ministry adds this is the first donation of the pediatric vaccines in the region, and it will be an essential and timely element of the national vaccination drive against COVID-19, particularly given that they will protect this vulnerable section of the population. The Embassy of Spain says Spain is very proud to have been able to make this donation of pediatric vaccines to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. In other news, the Commission of Inquiry set up to address the February 25th incident in which 4 out of 5 divers died after they were sucked into a 30-inch pipeline at the Paria Fuel Trading Limited's Berth 6 has reached the investigative stage. The latest development was confirmed by Finance Minister Colm Imbert, who addressed the matter at the House of Representatives on behalf of the Minister of Energy and Energy Industries, Stuart Young.
Since the commissioners were sworn in, steps have been taken and are being taken to put the administrative infrastructure of the commission in place, including the establishment of the secretariat for the commission to commence its hearings. The commissioners are currently involved in the pre-hearing stage of the inquiry, which is also known as the investigative stage.
Minister Imbert added that the investigative stage is one of the most important stages of this matter.
The relevant evidence is obtained and identified, and the relevant witness statements are prepared. This investigative stage of the inquiry is regarded as the lifeblood of the inquiry and prepares the way forward for the evidential stage of the inquiry.
LMCS divers Faisal Kirban, Rishi Nagasar, Yusuf Henry and Kazim Ali Jr. died following the incident at Paria's Pointe-à-Pierre facility. A 5th diver, Christopher Boudram, survived. Former head of Jamaica's appeal court, Justice Cecil Dennis Morrison, QC, is the chairman of the Commission of Inquiry into the matter. In sports, the 2022 FLO CONCACAF Caribbean Club Championships in the Dominican Republic concluded on Sunday with Violette AC of Haiti edging Sabao FC of the Dominican Republic 4-3 in a penalty shootout following a scoreless draw between the two sides. There were some outstanding performances in the championship, but taking the best player honors was Elivens Dejean of Haiti's Violette AC. The Jamaicans of Waterhouse FC won the Fair Play Award, and the top scorer was Dwayne Atkinson of Cavalier SC. And that was your TTT News. I am Roxanne Suraj. Good morning, everyone.
This is TTT. Live for local.
The best for your baby is at thebesttoys.com. From the best strollers, car seats, baby carriers, high chairs, booster seats, rockers, jumpers and bouncers, walkers, baby blankets, feeding accessories, bathtubs, gyms and playmats, playpens, cribs, baby swings, changing tables, diaper bags, clothing and accessories, and the widest range of educational toys. We carry Infantino, Dr. Brown, Avent, Graco, Chico, Fisher-Price, VTech, Leapfrog, Disney Baby, Delta Children, Medela, and Twist Shape. Visit us in-store at Forces Flagship McBean. Shop online now at thebesttoys.com. No credit card required. Free delivery throughout Trinidad and Tobago on orders over $300. Cash or links on delivery. Order via call or WhatsApp at 332-BABY. And remember, we have the best toys at the best prices.
Hey, alligator! Counting is fun. Start with 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm a zebra. I have stripes. Now we know our ABCs. Let's have fun and walk with me. Here we go! Let's go for a walk. 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, 4. Walk around. Let's do some more. Great job!
You working with mommy?